Dear Batman Arkham Knight PC owners, we are aware that there are performance issues for some users playing Batman Arkham Knight on PC. Warner Bros. Games is working diligently with our development teams, NVIDIA and AMD, to identify and fix the issues as quickly as possible. Please know that we value input from those who are playing the game, and we are continuously monitoring all threads posted in the official Batman Arkham Knight community and Steam forums, as well as any issues logged with our community support. If you are experiencing any issues with the game, please be sure to report it to support.wbgames.com. In the meantime, we wanted to provide recommended in-game graphical settings for those with minimum and recommended specs hardware. We will provide recommended settings for the ultra specs as soon as we are able to conduct more tests. At the bottom of this post, you can find additional information that may help alleviate some of the most frequent issues that some players are experiencing. Also, for reference, we have included a list of the minimum, recommended, and ultra hardware requirements. If you purchased your copy of the game through Steam and are not satisfied with your experience, you can request a refund at help.steampower.com. Steam refund policies can be found here. Thank you for your patience as we work on resolving these issues, and please be sure to check back for updates. These guys are really... It gets better from here. It really gets better from here. Check this out. Minimum hardware specs. Resolution 1280 by 720p. VSync off, anti-aliasing off. Texture resolution low, shadow quality low, level of detail low, interactive smoke and fog off, interactive paper debris off, enhanced rain off, enhanced light shafts off. Expected 30 frames per second capped. It is incredibly important that users with a min-spec video card with 2 GB of dedicated VRAM or 3 GB on AMD. By the way, they updated the minimum specs from 2 gigs to 3 gigs on AMD cards 12 hours before launch. How shady is that? To keep the texture resolution set to low, increasing this to normal will cause significant performance issues. By default, the game may set the user's monitor to the maximum output offered. Users should reset to 720p on minimum spec hardware. With these settings on min-spec AMD GPUs, users can expect some minor texture pops, occasional loading symbols during fast-paced scenarios, and some hitches and stuttering when gliding or driving the Batmobile. Recommended hardware specs, or equivalent. Resolution 1920 by 1080, VSync on, anti-aliasing on, texture resolution normal, shadow quality normal, level of detail normal, interactive smoke fog off, interactive paper debris off, enhanced rain off, enhanced life shafts off, expected 30 frames per second capped. The recommended spec is intended to deliver an experience on par with the current generation of gaming platforms. Let me say that one more time, because they're saying current generation of gaming platforms consist of PS4s, Xbox Ones, and the way this game performs, the Wii U, for fuck's sake. I'll read that to you one more time. The recommended spec is intended to deliver an experience on par with the current generation of gaming platforms. So that has console gate written all over it. Like, seriously, come on now. For an optimal experience, users with recommended spec hardware should not set the resolution higher than 1080p. So if you're running like a Titan X, or you doing a 3-way Titan X, or you got 2 680 Ti, 6 gigs per card, you shouldn't play your game higher than 1080p because this game was released like garbage. By default, the game may set shadow quality and level of detail too high on recommended spec hardware. Users should revert these to normal, because, yeah, my goodness. How horrible is that? How fucking horrible is that? With these settings on recommended spec AMD GPUs, users can expect some minor texture pops, occasional loading symbols during fast-paced scenarios, and some hitches and stuttering when gliding or driving the Batmobile. To help alleviate this, AMD users using rec spec GPUs should turn texture resolution, shadow quality, and level of detail to low. We continue to work closely with AMD to resolve these issues as soon as possible. Please make sure you have the most current drivers and check back here for updates on when the next driver version is available. Additional recommendations. We do not recommend that users change anything in the game's INI files, as this will potentially negatively impact performance, including frame rate and stability. At this time, we do not recommend using NVIDIA's GeForce Experience or AMD's Gaming Evolved optimization tools. We are currently working on improving streaming performance from mechanical hard drives. Addressing this is one of our top short-term priorities. Users that have an SSD available, we've noticed increased streaming performance when the game is installed to that type of drive. Although most people have like 120 gigs, and your game's like 30 to 50 gigs. So that is very unrealistic, very uncommon. You guys suck ass. Could be wrong though. If you have like a bigger drive than 120 to support your operating system and updates, because with my experience, 120 gigs will hold your operating system and your updates. And just for a tip, go to Disk Cleanup as an application and make sure you clear your system update files. It will give your space back to your SSD like nothing. I thought I had to get another SSD, but when I did that, I got half my drive back. Check that every once in a while. Just a useful tip, since people like Rocksteady and Warner Brothers or Shady and don't even tell us that they had a third party work on this game until the day of release. Like, no one knew. We all assumed Rocksteady was working on this game, so no one thought twice to be concerned about something like this. Shady as hell. Once again, we'd like to stress the importance of having the latest drivers from your graphics card manufacturer. Staying up to date could potentially alleviate many performance issues and will improve your gaming experience. It doesn't. NVIDIA GeForce users should use GeForce Game Ready driver version 353.30. AMD users should use Catalyst 15.6 beta drivers. Crossfire and AMD is currently not supported. Man, if you're an AMD user like me, you're getting screwed retarded hard. Like, this should be illegal. It should be. This is to be addressed in the future driver update from AMD. Also, is AMD's fault? Infinity multi-monitor on AMD is currently not supported. This is to be addressed in the future from AMD. Blame AMD because Batman's garbage. When running NVIDIA SLI, using NVIDIA control panel is set one card as a dedicated FitzX card may improve performance. Players should not disable or edit the size of their page file. Windows manages this automatically, and leaving this at the default settings will provide an optimal experience. When playing Arkham Knight, we strongly recommend that users avoid making edits to this. So, just in case you didn't know what the specs are, here are the specs again. You need Windows 7 Service Pack 1 or Windows 8.1. You need an i5 750 or better, AMD Phenom 2X4 965 or better. Someone asked me in comments if they could run Batman running an i3. Dude, no one is able to run this game properly even with an i7. I highly doubt you'll be able to run this game on an i3. I'm sorry. You need 6 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce 660, 2 gigs minimum, or AMD HD 7950, 3 gigs minimum. That was the slap. They added it from 2 GB, which majority of users have. If I'm wrong, please leave your comments down below. To a 3 gig card. So even if you say, oh gosh, I don't have a 3 gig card, you had a little bit of money before this game came out, you went to get a 3 gig card, you install that jammy in your system, you still got screwed. Because this game is having massive issues, screwing people. DirectX 11, need broadband internet connection, 45 gigs of RAM. Recommended hardware specs is the same, but NVIDIA 760, 3 GB memory recommended. There is no AMD card in recommended hardware specs. They said, you know what? You want the best experience? Buy an NVIDIA card. You trash class. With 55 gigs, what do you need 55 gigs for? There's no... Oh, and this is a kicker. Ultra system hardware settings recommended requirements. You need an i7. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Recommended you need an i7 as well. There's a lot of videos out there that prove that you don't need an i7 to play games. But if you want to play with the least amount of hiccups and stuttering, I guess you need an i7, which is going to be an additional $300 to $400 coming out of your pocket or your wallet. Niggas ain't got $300, okay? Alright, but you need a 980 for ultra settings, okay? 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah, fools are running 6 gigs of RAM with 980 Ti's and having problems. Which, in fact, there is no ultra setting in the game. So this is a complete slap in the face. This is horrible. Rocksteady should be ashamed of themselves. Warner Brother Games, you should be ashamed of yourselves. They said there was going to be a day 1 patch. So where is it? Oh, the console guys have that. While the PC peasants, don't worry, I'm considered a PC peasant because we're treated like this. Garbage ports, developers screwing us, not telling us what's going on with the game. It's like, how the hell did this get released? I mean, with only 12 people working on the damn port, you can't expect quality assurance with only 12 people working on a big AAA game like this that people have been dying to play, which they fucking delayed. Wow. I couldn't think this could get any worse. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to stand by for a patch. This has been probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I will probably never buy a game day 1 now. Thank you, Warner Brothers. Thank you, Rocksteady. I will never buy a game day 1 ever again. I don't care what console it's for. I don't care what game it is. I will never buy a game on day 1 anymore. Thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.